Hello everybody, it's me an INFP. Welcome to this perilous world. So it's been crazy lately for everyone. I'm sure all of you have been affected as I have by the recent pandemic going on. Everyone has their ways of coping with it. My friend introduced me to this game called Pandemic 2, which when he explained it to me, I was like, whoa, that's like twisted and messed up. But then I was like, oh, that sounds kind of cool. I guess that's like the INFP way. Twisted, but we kind of like it. So it's a game that it kind of shows like a map, and your goal is to like try to infect the world with like some kind of infection, and you win if you like wipe out the whole world with this infection. I find that the way I cope with things sometimes is to give myself a sense of control over things. So like with this pandemic happening, like playing a game where you have control over it, I mean, I feel like that helped me a little bit. Or if you play The Sims, there's a mod you can get that has like diseases and like colds and like sim colds and stuff that you can like put into your game to make Sims sick, like if that is that your thing. So how has it been going with you? My life has been very annoying since the coronavirus hit. I did not think it was a big deal at first until my school decided to close down the campus and have us do online learning. That was a big change. We haven't done it yet because we were on spring break. And then they're like, oh, by the way, we're extending spring break and then we're going to start digital classes. So you ain't coming back, basically. I drove all the way up to my college to get like the essential stuff that I like, because I thought I was just going to be gone for a week, and I went back to get the stuff I needed. And then the day after I drove all the way up there, they sent out an update being like, oh, by the way, you need to check out of your rooms. So then I had to drive all the way back up there again to get all the rest of my stuff and check out of my room and clean it and stuff. So I did that today. My ISOJ friend is currently staying with me at my house because he doesn't live near the college we go to. So now we're both here with my parents, trying to learn how to like get along together for however long this is happening. And I find for me that the things closing down bothers me more than the actual virus. Because like none of us have ever experienced something like this before. And that's why I was like I didn't think it was a big deal. And then I was like, wow, people are just like over exaggerating and panicking. But then I kind of had to face the facts that like, yeah, they're trying to do this to prevent the infection. And basically, I feel like a lot of things are closed now and you can't do anything. So it's like, yay, spring break. And on top of that, the spring break that was supposed to be this week, my teachers at first said like, yeah, but your homework is still due at like the same schedule. So I had like 3 papers this week. I did 2 of them and I was like stressing out over this other paper. And then today I learned that the provost of my college said that homework wasn't supposed to be allowed to be due this week because of like how things have changed. But they didn't send out an email about that. So I already did half the assignments. And I like was stressed this whole week trying to get homework done, which was like, hello, like the world is in a state of emergency. There's more important things to think about than homework. We have to get toilet paper on the table for everybody. I wasn't really involved in the toilet paper rush, except I did like nick about 10 toilet rolls from my dorm hall for my mom because she said I was using too much toilet paper. That's my normal usage. I use a lot, apparently. Yeah, at first I was like, haha, okay. Looking at all the memes about this coronavirus, I'm like, okay, yeah, the world's going crazy. This is like, and now I'm just kind of like, okay, I'm done now. You need to like be done with this pandemic. It's getting annoying. It's affecting my life negatively. Doing college at home is gonna be like a big change. Like submitting assignments, like I have like a debate that I have to do. And I'm like, how am I going to do this? Like, I hate debating anyway. I hate public speaking. And I don't know what they're going to do. The teachers don't know what they're going to do. They're still like scrambling. Like, it would suck to be a teacher in this. Like, the isolation part is just like, whatever. Like, you know, introvert. That's what I do anyway. But, like, having to deal with school on top of that is like, ew, this isn't fun. But I'm sure some of you are having to do the same thing because pretty much all the schools are, like, going digital or closing. But anyway, I've been talking about this for, like, 7 minutes. That's what's been going on in my life. This brings me to something that INFPs have an issue about is how INFPs deal with control. Like I said about playing the game to give me a sense of control. INFPs are also rebels against control. It's kind of funny, like if someone tells us to do something, we're like, no, I'm not going to do that now. But we were just about to do that thing. But now you're trying to control us and tell us to do it. So now we're going to be like, no, I don't want to do that. And that's kind of how a lot of INFPs can be. We don't like feeling controlled. It's like a no-no for INFPs. A good example of this is a character in one of my favorite books, Ella Enchanted by Gail Carson Levine. I read this when I was about like 14 probably. Like that's around the time it came out for me. And the main character is Ella. This is like a retelling fairy story of Cinderella. And I believe the main character is an INFP. Basically, the story is she gets cursed with the gift of obedience. So she has to do what people tell her as part of the curse. And it ends up making a rebel out of her. Or as she puts it, instead of making me docile, Lucindas Curse made a rebel of me. Or perhaps I was that way naturally. I do feel like it happens naturally for INFPs. In the book, Ella will do what people command because like her curse makes her like have to, but she'll like defeat the purpose of it. So if like her maid told her to go to the pantry and bring back some almonds for her like recipe, and she'll go but only bring back like 2 almonds. Or if her maid is telling her like stir this bowl for me, she'll do it, but she'll like walk all around the room so then like the maid has to chase after her. I feel like if INFPs like have to do something, they'll sometimes find a way to rebel anyway. And I was thinking about this the other day. I feel like sometimes I use time as like a tool to rebel. Like being late sometimes give me a sense of power. I'm not always late on purpose. Like INFPs have a very loose sense of time, so it just kind of like happens even with our best intentions. But sometimes if I'm feeling like rebellious against something, like if I like had to do work all night or something, or if I know I have to like work in the morning and I feel like I didn't get like enough like fun time, I'll be like, no, I don't want to go to bed. And I'll just stay up like super late because I can. And because I'm like trying to rebel against knowing I have to do something else, or the sense of like, oh, I should go to bed at this time, but I don't want to. So like relating this about what's going on right now, I feel like I was kind of rebelling against like believing all the stuff that's going on. And I actually was like arguing with my parents who are both censors, and I believe they both have FE, and they're both judgers. So they're like the complete opposite of me. And they've been keeping updated. I haven't, unless it's hard to avoid it. Like, I get emails, like, everywhere you look, like, my social media is everywhere. But, besides that, like, I don't seek out information, but they were, like, telling me stuff, and I was like, you're over-exaggerated. I'm like, this isn't gonna happen. That's, like, unrealistic. Like, my mom was saying, oh, they might, like, close down the roads in a state of emergency, and we might be like not able to go on the roads for like a year. I'm like, well, if that happens, we're all dead because we're not going to be able to get food. I'm like, be realistic, that's not gonna happen. But a lot of other people were saying that, like, yeah, you should be taking this seriously. It progresses fast, stuff happens, like, each day stuff is happening. And I was like, well, I don't want to believe it. But I mean, I feel like it's finally sinking in now. Like, I feel like it took me a while to, like, comprehend everything that's happening because it's just, like, crazy. And to be honest, like, I've been like inside most of the time, like in my house. Like, I haven't really like seen a lot of stuff, like, and I feel like that doesn't make it as real. But today, like, I did see, just driving my college, like, billboards about it, and like there was a sign saying like the toll, what is that called? The toll people, they aren't doing tickets, they're only doing Easy Pass. Like, I went to my college and like I ate at the cafeteria before I went home, and they like totally revamped that to like they had food servers to give you all your food so you're not touching anything, and they like walled off half the cafeteria so you're only in like a small amount. And like I wanted to check out a grocery store just to see like if the bare shelves were as like dramatic as I was told, and to be honest, it wasn't. Like, there's still tons of food there. And like me and my friend were looking at the type of food that was like gone, and for some reason you gotta have mayonnaise and ketchup during a pandemic. Gotta have your pickles and your tuna, and like I don't know what these people are eating. Like, I don't know if they're just buying bread and just putting all this stuff on it. But I mean, like, yeah, some of the bread was gone, like the toilet paper was gone. Like, I noticed like some things missing, like some canned goods, but like it wasn't like totally empty. Like, it's not like an apocalypse type where there's like two people fighting over the last jar of peanut butter. You're not gonna starve. I feel like if you keep up with news too much and like the sensational stories or whatever, I don't know, but like I feel like you'll start to get freaked out. I do feel like I've never had like this range of like stores closing down. Like, my bank interest went from like 1.5 or something to zero point 0.1 because, you know, like the economy is crashing and stuff. I basically gotten emails from like every single store that I'm subscribed to, like mentioning the coronavirus. I don't know. I don't know. So like I would recommend Ella Enchanted if you haven't read it before. It's a really great book. It actually really inspired me like later like to write fairy tales retelling myself, cuz like I really like that like genre. Just don't watch the movie. Please don't. It's like the worst adaptation of a book I have ever seen. I can't even. It is like so horrible. Just please spare yourself and don't watch it. Just read the book. Ella is a fun character. She's like smart, funny, and rebellious. I think it's interesting to see like one of the themes of the book I feel like is her like battle with control. She's like always fighting against it and trying to win, but it's too strong for her. I feel like because FI is such a strong function, and it also tends to be like, I guess kind of like an individualistic function, whereas like we're not necessarily just gonna like believe authorities and just listen to what they say and just be like, okay, I'm just gonna do what you say because you're the authority. I feel like other types can be like that too, but it might come out slightly differently. I feel like I would be like that too. I have been like that in situations where like authorities or people over me are trying to control me or tell me what to do. So, I mean, it might help you if you have a sense of control over things to find something that will give you that, even if it's in a slightly messed up way, like playing the pandemic game. Look out for my first Sims challenge MBTI video. It's taken me longer to edit than I hoped. It's taken me a really long time because I take like so long to do stuff, but it's going to be out soon, hopefully in like the next week. So take care of yourselves. I'll see you next time.